Welcome back to our channel. Let's start with study session number 3, reading number 7. Today's topic is machine learning. Machine learning and investment management. Machine learning can provide significant contribution to the asset and wealth management value chain in various capacities. What is machine learning? Machine learning, ML, is appropriate to use with problems which have many variables, high dimensionality, with a high degree of nonlinearity. ML is divided into supervised, unsupervised learning, and deep learning. Supervised learning involves applying ML algorithms to labeled data sets to infer patterns between inputs and output, which is further used to train the algorithm. Is suitable for the following two problem categories: regression, classification. Unsupervised learning does not make use of labeled data. Inputs are used in the analysis without any targets. Is suitable for the following two problem categories: dimension reduction, clustering. Deep learning and reinforcement learning. Deep learning, DL, sophisticated algorithms address highly complex. Reinforcement learning, RL, a computer learns by interacting with itself. Neural networks include highly flexible ML algorithms which have been successfully applied to a wide variety of tasks. Overview of evaluating ML algorithm performance. Generalization and overfitting. ML model is typically applied to the following data sets: 1 training sample, or in sample; 2 validation sample, or out of sample; 3 test sample, or out of sample. Overfitting increases as noise levels in the data, complexity in the model, errors and overfitting. Low/no in sample error but large out of sample error indicates poor generalization. Types of total out of sample errors: 1 bias error, 2 variance error, 3 base error. Learning curve describes under and overfitting as a function of bias and variance errors. For robust models, as out of sample accuracy upwards and training sample size also upwards. Error rates in the validation or test samples converge towards each other and toward a desired error rate, or base error. Preventing overfitting in supervised machine learning. Methods to reduce overfitting include: 1. Complexity reduction. 2. Cross-validation. K-fold cross-validation, a cross-validation technique used to mitigate the problem of reducing the training sample too much by excluding holdout samples. Supervised machine learning algorithms. Supervised ML are trained using labeled data and can be divided into two groups. Regression for a continuous target variable, which includes penalized regression. Lasso. Classification for a categorial or ordinal target variable, which includes support vector machine, SVM. OK nearest neighbor, KNN. O classification and regression tree, CART, algorithms. Penalized regression is useful for reducing a large number of features into a manageable set, can help avoid the overfitting problem. Least absolute shrinkage and selection operator, lasso. A type of penalized regression. Penalty term has the following form with is only added during model building process. Lasso eliminates less important features. Ensures that a variable is only included if sum of squared residuals declines by more than the increase in penalty term. Support vector machine, SVM. SVM is a supervised algorithm used for classification, regression, and outlier detection. SVM is a linear classifier which determines the hyperplane that separ. Uses of SVM. Suitable for small to medium-sized but highly complex high-dimensional data sets. Is used to predict company failures. Can be used to classify text from documents into useful categories. K-nearest neighbor. Is used to classify a new observation by finding similarities between the new observation and existing data. Classification and regression tree. CART, can be applied to predict a categorial target variable to produce a classification tree. Predict a continuous target variable to produce a regression tree, or to binary classification and regression. Ensemble learning and random forest. The practice of combining many predictions from many models and averaging the result to reduce noise. Ensemble learning is divided into the following categories. Category 1, an aggregation of heterogeneous learners. Category 2, an aggregation of homogeneous learners. Voting classifiers. Majority voting classifiers will assign the predicted label with the greatest number of votes to a new data point. The greater the individual models which are trained, the higher the accuracy of aggregated prediction up to a certain point. Bootstrap aggregating, bagging. The original training data set is used to generate n new training data sets or bags of data. Advantages of bagging include model stability and protection against overfitting the model. Random forest. A collection of a large number of decision trees trained using the bagging method. Advantages. Protects against overfitting on the training data. Reduces the ratio of noise to signal. Drawback. Individual trees cannot be interpreted with relative ease. Uses. In factor-based investment strategies for asset allocation and investment selection. In predicting whether an IPO will be successful given attributes. Unsupervised machine learning algorithms. Unsupervised ML. Does not use labeled data. Algorithms include dimension reduced based on principal components analysis. Hierarchical clustering. Principal component analysis, PCA. PCA is a statistical method for reducing highly correlated features into a few main, uncorrelated composite variables. PCA involves two key concepts. 1. Eigenvectors, new, mutually uncorrelated composite variables that are linear combinations of the original features. 2. Eigenvalue, proportion of total variance in the initial data that is explained by each eigenvector. Drawback of PCA, principal components cannot be easily labeled or directly interpreted by the analyst. Clustering. Cluster contains a subset of observations from the data set which are similar. Investment uses of clustering. For grouping companies based on financial statement items or financial ratios, for example. Improving portfolio diversification. Popular clustering approaches include K-means clustering. Hierarchical clustering. K-means clustering involves partitioning the data into a fixed number, K, of non-overlapping clusters. K, the number of clusters, represents a model parameter. Advantages. K-means algorithm is fast and works well with hundreds of millions of observations. Limitation, hyperparameter, K, must be decided before K-means is run. Hierarchical clustering, agglomerative and divisive. Hierarchical clustering results in the creation of intermediate rounds of clusters of increasing, in agglomerative, or decreasing, in conglomerative, size until a final clustering is reached. Differences between agglomerative and divisive hierarchical clustering. Agglomerative clustering. Bottom-up approach. Well suited for identifying small clusters. Divisive clustering. Top-down approach. Well suited for identifying large clusters. Dendrograms. Dendrograms highlight the hierarchical relationships among the clusters. Neural networks, deep learning nets, and reinforcement learning. Neural networks. Neural networks, also known as artificial neural networks or ANNs, are highly flexible and are commonly used for classification learning, regression supervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Deep learning nets. DLNs comprise of a minimum of 3 hidden layers but often more than 20 hidden layers. Uses. Pattern recognition problems. Credit card fraud detection. Vision and control problems in autonomous cars. Natural language processing. Pricing options. Predicting corporate fundamental factors and price-related technical factors. Reinforcement learning. RL involves an agent that should perform actions with the objective of maximizing its rewards over time, taking environmental constraints into consideration. That is all for today. Thank you for watching. We hope this information is useful to you. If you are willing to continue with these lessons, subscribe to the channel. To find more videos, quickly like and share the videos. You can also ask the question, we will happy to answer.